Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. We'll give people a few more minutes to kind of trickle on in here. How are you, Jedi?
I'm doing fantastic, Silverdust. How are you doing?
Good. Just pretty swamped. I switched departments at work, and so things have been kind of crazy in the transition. So I haven't been around as much as I like to be, but it's one of those things. Life happens, and you adjust.
Been a challenging week over here as well. I know we missed you on the last AMA, so glad you're back.
Yeah, last minute all hands meeting. They were letting us know that we were getting switched to different departments. So that was basically it, but everyone had to be notified. And then, the wonderful thing about paperwork and all that good stuff. So just getting all that sorted.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired of paperwork over here personally.
Right. It's the bane of the existence of any working person. If you guys haven't yet, if you could go ahead and spam the channels for AMA and also in TG for me, please, that would be amazing. There's sound. We're just not talking yet. Can you guys hear anything? You guys good? Okay, perfect. When I had taken the stage, it had kicked off the music, so I'll have to work with Andre on getting that situation to where it plays that for you guys, because I enjoy that a lot. Yes, that wasn't rambling. Thanks, Prof. No, maybe we'll take a poll on the elevator music, see if people like it at least. Well, it's about 4 after the hour, so we can go ahead and get started. We've got a couple of updates for you guys as far as the community stuff goes. We have our trusty Miski, who is going to do the announcements for the Shillers. If you want to go ahead and post your videos, Miski, that would be appreciated. Okay, drum roll, please, for Miski. Boom, there we go. And let's see. So winners is Danny Young, or I'm not sure on that one, but congrats to you. And the next one is Machala. Congrats to both of you. We'll get those rewards to you guys shortly. I wanted to give you guys an update too on our YouTube channel. As far as views, we've had over 2,000 views, 290 hours of watch time, and we're up to 180 subscribers. So, I mean, that's bonus. I'm excited. I think that any way we can get more information to you guys is wonderful. Let's see. We'll go ahead and go over the foundation side of the announcements. I apologize for it being late. Like I said, work's been crazy, and then, adulting as far as children and all that good stuff. Okay, so we are working on getting together the finishing touches for our first quarter financial report for you guys. It obviously is late, and then we'll have the quarter 2 proposed budget shortly after that as well. We really appreciate you guys' patience. We're still trying to kind of like hammer out the procedures for that, what we need as far as documents, what program and things we're going to use or works the best for us. And then we're doing it in a way that allows us to continue growing and add more things into it. So let's see. Next part. Obviously, you guys are aware that we had posted the LIP to give the foundation a broader authority to leverage Treasury, and that's specifically for marketing and our centralized exchanges for the market maker and stuff like that. Snapshot is down. Jedi will obviously know more details on that part, but they're working on getting that fixed. I know that he has submitted some corrections and things like that, so it is in progress. The facility deal is still in progress as well. Like we had told you, it was a couple weeks ago, we had another meeting with them, so that one is still going on. We're working through the Lunar volume improvement plan. So as you've seen, the volume has gone up significantly. Working on getting more of that kind of situated, working with the market maker, having the weekly meetings, determining what works best for us and things like that. Let's see. The Binance Industry Recovery Fund application has been submitted. We haven't heard anything on that yet, but we did get information back on the MVB 6 application. It was denied. It was basically informed by a letter just saying that they were not accepted, and they didn't give us any reason why. I imagine with all the applicants, it was probably a very standardized letter. Let's see.
Yeah, they had 1,500 applications and 12 recipients. So like less than 1% of the people that were even looked at got in. So, in a program like that, once you have your 12 you're not really going to look a lot further into the situation. So, we saw some conversations on Telegram and whatnot asking about, we should, ask ourselves why Binance doesn't want to work with us. Those types of comments. That's really not the case. If you look in the startup world, as an example, most people that try to apply to Y Combinator don't get in the first time, and usually it takes 5 or 6 attempts before you actually make it. So we keep pressing on. Just it opens the door for us to attempt to engage with Binance in other ways. Usually, my personality style is not to pester somebody when they have. If you've already applied to something, you don't bug the crap out of them until they tell you no anyways. So now that we have a solid answer, it opens us to be able to work with other teams and whatnot. So, and there's always next time. So fear not, we keep moving forward.
Perfect. And that's one of the things you just depending on the opportunities, you just keep going, you look for new avenues, you look for, different ways to work with them. I mean, I think it's awesome that we even basically made it to the next stage compared to last time, and it wasn't just an automatic rejection. So I'm proud of us.
Yep.
We haven't done any new OTCs since we had previously published it, so the amount is still the same. For those of you that don't know, the 4% was used to expand the liquidity pool for Uniswap. New business, we're continuing to work with other avenues to get more investments coming in. As we have said before, we've had some meetings that those are continuing. We're still working on that, basically doing reviews of things and making sure that everything's kind of in the best interest for Lunar DAO. And let's see. Obviously, I can't share a whole lot because we are under the multiple NDAs right now. So you can just take that as a positive thing that we actually got to a stage where we need to have NDAs. So that's awesome. Let's see. Markets. Basically, it's the same stuff. It's combating the inaccurate information, making sure that we're basically making sure to correct the misinformation that's being posted, things like that, combat that with actual truth. So let's see. We're working on a separate write-up. I believe it's going to be a blog post, Jedi, for basically going over market making and kind of explaining why they're so critical. I know that's in progress.
Yeah, and we covered some of that in the lib 2, which I'm excited for you folks to read. But I believe we've identified the problem on the voting mechanism, and I would like to be able to have an answer for that before and get that lib back online before the end of the day tomorrow. But we'll see how things play out. So and just keep an eye out.
And we're kind of waiting on a response because you submitted fixes to them for their stuff, correct? It wasn't. I know that we had some updates on ours to make stuff more compatible, but most of it was, you helping them get stuff corrected. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so we submitted a fix to hopefully make the platform faster, and that's just something I found as I was digging through the issue. I believe there's a slight challenge with some of the NFT changes that we made. Basically, the way this thing works is we publish a list of the NFTs and their power, and then it loops through that list to tries to figure out who owns those NFTs. I think that a couple of them, when we launched the NFT sale on OpenSea and we moved the NFTs around, I think we burned a couple NFTs without and minted a couple new ones that had a different identifier. And so I think the way the structure works, when it uses a multi-call blockchain method to go out and say, hey, I want to go get the ID for or who owns these 500 tokens. Well, if one of those calls fails, then the whole batch fails. And I think that's what's happening right now, is that it's going and looking for an ID that doesn't have a token issued. So we're going to cross-check the list here tonight. And then if we need to make adjustments and upload a new one. And once we do that, the voting should work again. And then we also discovered a number of issues within the code itself in Snapshot for this particular method that we use. So once we're done getting the immediate issue fixed, we're going to submit some bug fixes to Snapshot to hopefully make it a little more fault tolerant. in case these things happen again. And then finally, we're going to add a web service to the Lunar platform that will generate these token IDs and values on the fly, so that if tokens move around, if they get bought or sold or whatever, then the values are automatically updated. So got a comprehensive fix for that, and like I said, hopefully we'll have an answer specifically and have the lit back online. I'd like to have it online, by tomorrow evening Eastern Standard Time, but it might go into Friday depending on how our troubleshooting goes. So
Awesome. Let's see. We are still working on expanding the Lunar support for decentralized exchanges. When we get more information about where things have been accepted, then we'll let you guys know as soon as that is available. Of course, we love letting you guys know that. That's always a positive announcement. So BSC Scan finally updated our token contract profiles to be consistent, and our community links are all accurate. And that's also the same for CoinGecko. All of our info is now accurate on that as well. Let's see.
On CoinGecko, except for circulating supply, we're still working with them to try to get that ironed out. That means the market cap and the fully diluted market cap on CoinGecko are going to be different than what's on CMC. CMC's is accurate right now, and we'll get CoinGecko's fixed on that here pretty soon.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Let's see. Like I was saying before, we had the weekly meeting with the market maker, and they're continuing to work on our trading strategy. And then as soon as the next LIP gets to be put on and voted and all that good stuff, then we can, request to do more marketing and have more things available as far as that goes as well for our centralized exchanges. Let's see. We're working with CMC to get a verified user profile attached to our current token. We're working with CoinGecko for the circulating supply problem, which he had talked about, to get it to match. And then let's see. We're working on getting everything updated on TradingView. Oh, but good news, they're even more unresponsive than CMC. So those are just the customer support challenges that we're facing at the moment. But you just keep swimming, as I tell my kids.
These challenges permeate all of crypto. It gets super annoying, folks. It's difficult to try to get anything done. Just as an example, Snapshot's a great platform. Their team is not as active on their Discord as I would like. So it's been, days between posts trying to get things figured out. This crypto space needs a lot of work. So
make it more user friendly and all that good stuff. Let's see. We haven't heard back on the Telegram verified status. We're waiting for a final decision on that. And then we're working on the summary for our weekly updates into the monthly updates and stuff. That'll also be on the blog when that's completed. Obviously, we've been working on other things like funding and stuff that is a higher priority and getting kind of that stuff situated. So it's a task of most important into can maybe wait a little bit. So that is why there's delays for that. We're talking about doing an extra AMA on Twitter Spaces during the month. Maybe, I don't know, on like the second Wednesday, or I don't know, like the fifth Wednesday of a month if it happens or something like that. I guess we'll kind of get that figured out, Jedi.
Yeah, it would be great if we could do it next Wednesday. It just depends on other things that are going on. And it'd be cool if we could make it more consistent. I don't know if we want to jump back and forth between, Twitter and Discord, or if we want to do the two Discords and add another one, towards the end of the month. We're going to play with it at some point here very soon. We've just had a lot going on to be able to make that scheduling decision, but we'll let you guys know if we're going to do one on Twitter Spaces next week.
Absolutely. So I know that a lot of you guys have seen the updates from Master Jedi for the website. It's got new pages on there for the products, which includes our roadmap, our tokens, buying Lunar, governance, and community information. More blog posts, like we had said, are coming, and more international community listings are coming too. So we obviously want to work on getting information out to you guys as much as possible, and so that's part of our goals of getting that accomplished. And then I'll go ahead and go ahead, Jedi.
Can I jump in on that for a second? I
Absolutely.
want to make sure because there was like I'm just going to be real with you guys. We put a lot of work into the website, and I was a little disappointed by the response. If I'm just being candid, and I want to make sure that I talk about like what we've been working on with the volume improvement plan, what the website means, and how we're moving forward through this process. So the website is our best public foot forward on everything that we're doing and building within the Lunar ecosystem. And over the course of the last 6 months, as we've been doing this transition, I don't know if you folks have noticed, but there's been a real specific and structured way we've gone about the process of releasing information to you all. So it started out doing the things that we were mandated by the DAO founding documents to do, which was get the governance platform up, get you guys as much information as possible. We went in and did an extensive brain dump inside the governance platform to help you guys understand what we're building and what was moving forward. And that governance platform and your ability to get into it was determined by one of our products. So you being able to log in and use the governance platform, you being able to log in and use the portfolio preview, that's a product in and of itself. The governance platform, like being there and existing and having all that data, is a product. That is a function of work that was produced to be able to operate the DAO the way it's supposed to be operated. And so when we get through going from, hey, here's our living roadmap on the governance platform, let's put it here and get that information here, because the website was a mess, right? Had a lot of stuff that needed to happen. So the governance platform was a clean, simple place to do it. And oh, by the way, it helped make sure that we weren't getting fudded on by people who had no skin in the game with Lunar. Then we moved on to making the Lunar ecosystem preview available to all DAO or all community members. And that was, hey, we've got a rough idea of what we're doing with these products and the order that they're going to be released in. Let's make sure everybody knows it. And all you need to do is give us your email address and you can have that information. Those email addresses all went to help make sure that when we start marketing more, that we can start sending you more information about Lunar through our regular channels. Then, as we've worked through those things, we got the website fixed. There was a lot of work that was done to clean it up, make it simpler, easy to manage. The state it was in before, if you made a change in one spot, it screwed up the whole website in other places. We got that information in on the products page to help you understand what we're working on. And it might not feel exactly the way a regular crypto project does, because usually they have a white paper and a separate roadmap and all that stuff. But when I outline the stuff that's on the product page, that is what we're communicating moving forward on the platform that we're building. And we're trying to walk this balance of helping you understand the order that we're trying to ship things in. And it probably seems a little weird because the portfolio app is way further down on the list, but we already have a preview out for that. And there's other things in the middle that don't have previews out and stuff like that. And so like, well, how are we building these things out? We were very specific in the choices that we made on the products page to differentiate between phrases like coming soon and coming in 2023. So when you scroll down that page and you look at Lunar accounts are already in production, and then you see Lunar Mint and as next, Lunar Mint for creators and Lunar Mint for collectors. Coming soon means we are imminently getting ready to ship this thing. It means that we are aligned, we are actively working on wrapping up features and getting ready for this thing to go live. Now, I know some people would like more specific dates within that process, but if anything, the last 6 months have told us, between dealing with issues on Snapshot and dealing with contract corruption issues and all of those types of things, is that it's going to happen. Something's going to come up in between the process, and whatever date we put on there, the thing about dates when you talk about software, whatever date you put on there is guaranteed to be wrong, and that's just the nature of software development. So I know some people have wanted like more information about what's going on. We have shared the best information that we can at the moment about what that timeline looks like. And I want to be really clear about this because it's super important. The website itself is also a product. The website itself is a major item on the checklist for the Lunar Volume Improvement Program and is a prerequisite. I know that word doesn't translate well into other languages. It's something that has to be done in place in order for you to attract new holders and new participants in the Lunar ecosystem. If you don't have a new website that's up to date, that's easy to maintain, that we can easily drop new blog posts on, by the way, one's up there now, you might want to check it out. We'll talk about it more in a minute. You need to have that in place to be able to attract new people to the ecosystem. So I would really like you guys to go check it out, dig through it, see what's going on there, check out some of the features we have on the products that are upcoming. There will always be more information coming as we get through to the next thing. So our next major focus on the website is getting these weekly updates combined into monthly updates and backdating them on the website so that you can see what's been going on for the last 6 months. And then once that's done, some of you may have already noticed that we already set up a Medium site and got the Medium links on DMC and CoinGecko updated to be the right links, because for forever they wouldn't even take the Medium links off, which was stupid. We've got a new Medium site up there. We're going to syndicate all of these blog posts back on CMC and Medium. But in order to do that on Medium, you got to get the posts up, and you have to have like some specific code in there on the date it was published so that the import process can pull them in. So some of you have asked for checklists and stuff like that on things that we're doing. There's a volume improvement plan in the governance platform that is a very specific checklist of everything that's being done to make the Lunar ecosystem visibly viable again. So I would ask that you guys please keep an eye on that and pay attention, because we've made tremendous progress in that space and there's still more to come. So appreciate the rant/end rant.
No, we appreciate it. Like I said, more information is always good, or explanations. So let's see. I think for the most part on my side of the announcements, it's caught up. Was there anything else that you wanted to add from there, Jedi?
I think you have one more announcement to make.
Oh.
I think there's a blog post about something.
There definitely is. Let me see. The fun one, huh? All right. Okay. So we wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that we have chosen the War of the Whales bonus ones, and the top 3 have been recorded. So that will be on the blog, and we'll have the wallet addresses listed there. So if you guys are one of the wallets that is listed, please open a ticket in Discord so we can get that sent to you and provide proof that you own the wallet, basically. Let's see. It's exciting. So I don't know if all of you guys are familiar with what the prizes were. So first place was 9% bonus plus your original tax back. Second place was 6% bonus, and then your tax back, of course. And third place was a 3% bonus with your tax back. We also did 3 additional wallets. That way everyone had incentive to kind of buy it, even if they weren't like top 3. So those ones have been selected, and they will get their tax back. So we used a program called namepicker.net to choose those randomly. So it's exciting. So like I said, congrats to all the winners, and make sure you open a ticket and we'll get that sorted for you guys. All right. I think that's it now, isn't it?
So I think we're good.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I'll keep it relatively short as we dive through the rest of it. Dev team is working through these. There's 2 main challenges we're working through right now. One is Snapshot. The other is our ERC 721 contract updates. As a refresher, our ERC 721 contract is the same contract we're going to be using to run new customers through the Lunar Mint platform if they use us to do their own tokens from scratch, their own NFTs. And so it's even more important to get that contract right than it is on the ERC 20 contract, which, given that the ERC 20 contract runs essentially our entire ecosystem, that ought to tell you the level of time and attention we put into these things. So we identified, similar to what happened on ERC 720, but through a different vector, we identified an issue that was corrupting the 721 contracts when we tried to add in the information that's required by OpenSea to outline the royalties and how the royalties work on your token. So we added that information in. OpenZeppelin had some breaking changes in their core contracts. And we saw a different corruption issue where on ERC20 we saw, and I gave this explanation a while back, like the mailbox slots shifted one level down. When we did these upgrades on our contract, all the data was zeroed out as if it was blank and was starting over. And so we basically had to roll back through the process one by one and test each of the individual updates that we were doing to the contract and see which one broke it. And we actually saw two different issues on the contract that were potentially causing this problem, and both had to do with the OpenZeppelin upgrades. So OpenZeppelin broke some stuff, caused our contract to break some things, and we're working through repairing that now. So primary concern was making sure that we could find the issues, that we could replace them, and make sure that the contract upgrades, which we can now do, and the contract upgrades fine. The next challenge is making sure that we can run another upgrade and make sure that that doesn't screw up these contracts. So at the end of the day, what has happened to be able to solve this problem for us in the ecosystem and for all of our Lunar Mint customers is that we're going to end up having to support two different copies of the ERC 721 contract. One is going to be for our NFTs, and that's because of the specific way that our contract needs to be upgraded moving forward. And then there will be a cleaner, simpler version that gets deployed out to customers, because those contracts are starting from scratch and they won't have the problem in the first place. And so they don't need a kind of the workaround that we've put in place. They won't need that. So we're going to keep those contracts cleaner and simpler. Again, I just want to reiterate, like, this is the contract is the core of Lunar Mint. And we're not just going to be supporting ourselves on that contract. We're now going to be supporting a minimum of 5 other customers as we move into beta. So as much as I work and the team works really hard to make sure that we don't screw up our own ecosystem, I would feel 10 times worse if we negatively impacted another creator's ability to make and create and build their own ecosystem. So we're going to get this part right. We're going to have the issue solved here soon. And once that's done, we will deploy that update, wrap it up, and continue moving through the rest of the Lunar Mint for creators features that are necessary to get the platform out the door. I'm really excited for that process. I'm really excited to be able to get our creators that we want on the platform to be able to use it. And we've outlined our kind of short list inside the weekly updates on what needs to be done in order for us to get there. So we're pretty heavily focused on Lunar Mint at this point. We've been focused on it for weeks and weeks now. Anything else outside of that and marketing has been backburnered. And so we've got a couple, the items on the Auth0 marketplace and showing how to use Gate. Like those are not revenue generating tasks. So we will hit those things up when there's some bandwidth to do it. Other than that, that's about it. I'm excited to have the bulk of the website changes off my plate and out the door, and the next stuff is just more content. So you'll be seeing that happen, and then I'll post about it when it goes live. And hopefully, once the blog updates are done, I can start focusing on the lunarmint.com website and starting to get that in place, along with much more code. That's it for me on the dev side. Guess we can switch it up now and let somebody else talk for a couple minutes if you have any questions. Do we have any hands raised?
Let me see.
Hey, Stefano, what's going on? Saw your post in the live chat.
I don't see any hands, but we can check out the AMA questions from Court. Give me just a second. Were those, since I missed the last one, did those get answered from the previous time?
They did.
Okay.
So I think the question on update on NFT utility advancement with upcoming releases. I'm not sure that we've shared anything new on the utility front. And I don't know that we will be sharing anything new before Lunar Mint is released. I believe if you go into Discord and type if you go into Telegram and type /utility, you'll see all the things that the NFTs can do now. And we have some things planned for Lunar Mint that we can't quite talk about yet. So once that goes live, we'll be able to have some more discussion around it.
And there is an extensive list of ideas. Some of them have to be, vetted and legally and other things like that to make it, make sure that we're good. And then we've got other things, that we've witnessed from other projects and stuff like that to make it fun. Lots of ideas. It's just one of those things that we're working on getting like I said, we're tackling the list of this is the most important, this is important, this is, can be put off just a little bit. So there are, I don't even remember, there was a list of like multiple ideas. I don't even know the total, but
I had a bunch of stuff I want to do with it, and some of them were really cool.
Yeah.
And they just need other things. Like being realistic, you have to have core functionality in place before you add augmentations and add neat, nice to have things. And so I have one very particular idea for the Lunar Mint and Lunar Portfolio that it doesn't make sense to do until the stuff actually works, right? You could do it first, and then you'd look at it for a few seconds and it'd be neat, and then you'd be like, all right, why'd you spend a crap load of time on that versus building out the thing that makes money? So let's if we're good at anything in this organization, it's at ruthless prioritization. So we will have more utility for the token, and we're always looking to add more cool stuff to it the second it makes sense to do so.
Absolutely. So there was another question in the AMAs. So it was from Jackro. Any chance or after how many days listed on Binance? What are we thinking about it? So Binance is a tier 1 exchange. There is a hefty application process and then also fees. So I'm not sure on the quote for the fees, but I know that it's extensive. So it's one of those.
You also have to ask, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go for it.
You also have to ask which Binance. There's two, right? Sure. There's Binance US, which has an entirely different fee structure than Binance.com. Different expenses, both of them massive. We're talking 7 figures, folks. We're talking the expense between the listing fee, and they might say no listing fee. That's great. They want you to spend money on marketing. They want you to put money into the ecosystem their ecosystem in order to get it up and running. We're talking a massive expense. Tier 1 exchanges are not on the horizon until the ecosystem has the ability to support that expense, and it's a massive undertaking. So that's one of the reasons why you don't see many of these tokens on those platforms. It costs a lot of money to get there. And if you're spending $1 million to get on Coinbase in a bear market, it's $1 million that you're not spending on building actual utility and shipping actual software. So it's just the economics and the nature of the listing ecosystem. We're going to be on tier 2 exchanges for a while until we can work with Binance to the point where they're like, hey, do you want to get listed? And we'll be like, sure, no problem. Because if you're in the MVB program, if you're invested in by Binance Labs or those things, my information tells me that the listing process, being involved in those programs is very different. So we're going to keep working on the ways to get in there for as little money as humanly possible and not worry about the ways that cost the DAO way more money than it should. So
yeah. And some of the tier 2 exchanges, we are in talks and, getting prices and looking at different stuff too for those. Some of them are higher rated and, others have different processes and stuff like that. But we are looking at other ones. It's just Binance right now is just, a little bit future. It's future tense instead of current. So that was kind of where we are with that one.
And I want to point out too, like we've put in a lot of time researching, understanding centralized exchanges and what's going on there and what the prices are and how they work. Guys, this is the most opaque nonsense that I have seen in business. I've seen a lot of BS in business. Okay, guys, the centralized exchange listings are a racket. It's straight up. They charge whatever they want, however they want. They have their own internal criteria. They don't publish the information. We've had several listings where we were able to demonstrate that we had more reach, more visibility, more transactions, more holders, more everything. And the numbers they gave us were insane. So we've been quoted fees that involve like multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars for technology fees that you can't say no to. It's nonsense. So we're focusing on getting more access on decentralized exchanges. We're focusing on working with the exchanges that we have and doing better marketing on that. You'll see a lip for that soon. And new exchange listings will come when it makes sense. Again, it's expensive. So the timing has to be right for that. The reasoning has to be right for that. It's not just expensive in the listing fee. It's expensive in how much they expect you to spend on marketing. And it's expensive to provide liquidity to that ecosystem. So being on 14 new exchanges, when we're not providing liquidity properly across our existing ecosystem doesn't make a lot of sense. So we're going to see as soon as that lip goes up, we want to put more effort into the exchanges that we have and use the resources at their disposal to and the marketing that they're already doing to bring new customers to their platform, bring those customers to us. So you're going to see a lot more of that here very soon. And again, the website being up and running was a core component of being able to engage and make that happen.
Absolutely. And yeah, like what Jedi was saying, it's just a matter of taking those steps. We do have some pretty well-known exchanges. I mean, LBank and, is one of the ones that we're going to work on using more and things like that. So it's all in process. And like you said, that getting the website updated was one of those steps that needed to happen in order to progress further as far as having a place for people to go and check Lunar out. And we wanted to have accurate information on there. We wanted to have, honestly, just get it updated and have it ready for them as far as being able to see where we are. So it's just one of those steps. You have to lay your foundation before you can build your house on it. So any questions from the audience or anything? I didn't see anything in main chat.
Neither.
Any hands or anything like that for now? Well, going once, going twice. All right. I think we're good. So we'll go ahead and thank you guys for coming. We always appreciate it when you attend the AMAs, and this will be uploaded to YouTube shortly, and we'll get those transcripts as soon as possible. We hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I did not, Prof. So thank you again. Thank you, Jedi, for your time. I know how busy you are, so it's much appreciated.
Appreciate everybody's support, especially through the last 6 months. Ton of holders still out there. We've lost very few over the course of the last 6 months, which have been amazing. I appreciate everybody's support as we continue to work through and get ready for the bull run. And little piece of news, our update from Snapshot that makes their whole platform faster just got accepted. So that'll be exciting. And then appreciate everybody that participated in War of the Whales. Thanks for your support. Thanks to everybody for being a part of the Lunar ecosystem.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day.
See you next time.